Hey guys, it's your bro Rich here. Today in this video, I'm back with another Need for Speed gaming explanation video for you all. Today in this video, I'll be talking to you all about the next Need for Speed game, and this one is going to be an exciting one, but it's also a good one. Today in this video, I'll be talking to you all about Need for Speed Rivals. So before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and also let me make brand new uploads. So remember, before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So, Need for Speed Rivals. So, Need for Speed Rivals 2013. Here we go. So, NFS Rivals is a 2013 racing video game collaboratively developed both by Ghost Games and Criterion Games, and published by EA. Published by EA. It's the 20th installment. So it's the 20th installment in the series, and the debut title for Ghost Games. The formerly named EA Gothenburg. So Gothenburg, which would be the main developer of all subsequent non-mobile installments up until 2020. So I'm doing I did this video before, but I want to do it more I want to do this video again, but this time in more detail, as a remake. I did a remake of the Lycan Hybrid Sport from Furious 7. Anyways, developers are both by Ghost Games and Criterion. Developers are Ghost Games and Criterion Games. Publisher EA. So publisher EA. Director Craig Sullivan. Producers are Jamie Keane, Leanne Loomb, and Matt Thomas. Designer is James Mowat. I can't pronounce that, but it's spelled M-O-U-A-T. So that's the designer. Programmer is Christian Holmqvist. I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled H-O-L. So H-O-L-M-Q-V-I-S-T. The artists are the artist is Christopher Christensen. So artist Christopher Christensen. The writer is Will Staples. The composer is Vanessa Lorena Tate, who did the soundtracks of Rivals. So series NFS engine, or Need for Speed as you call it, NFS. So series NFS or Need for Speed engine. Need for Speed engine. Frostbite. So Frostbite 3. Platforms are PS4. PS4, PS3, Windows, Xbox 360, and Xbox 360 and Xbox One. The release was on November 15th, 2013. For PS4, so PS4 was released. So for PS4, in North America, 15. So in North America, 15th. Europe, 29th. For PS3, Windows, and Xbox 3. So PS3, Windows, and Xbox 360. North America, 19th. So North America, 19th. Australia, 21st. So Australia 21st. Say 21st. So Australia 21st, and Europe 22nd. And also the same day on the 22nd. Say 22nd for Xbox One. So the 22nd for Xbox One. So it's like worldwide. Like all across the world for the Xbox One. So all around America, Europe, Australia, Australasia, all that kind of stuff. So Xbox One was released on November, for the Xbox One, was released on November 22nd. So November 22nd, 2013. Genre racing and modes is both single and multiplayer. Rivals was well received. That's good. So Rivals was well received by critics at E3 2013, and was awarded with Best Racing Game. Said Best Racing Game from GCA, which is Game Critics Awards. So Game Critics Awards. It received mostly positive reviews upon release. So it received mostly positive reviews. So positive reviews upon release. It's followed in 2015 by the mobile game No Limits and the self-titled reboot. Next up, features. So feature. Now I'm trying to. Rivals is a racing game and features. So Rivals is a racing game and features gameplay similar to earlier titles such as Criterion's Most Wanted 2012 and Hot Pursuit 2010. Rivals uses the Frostbite 3 engine. The development team opted to target 30 FPS across all platforms instead of 60 FPS. So they wouldn't have to double it because of the all drive feature. For those who don't know what all drive is, you're not alone. All drive is the system used to seamlessly matchmake players within the same open world. Another reason was due to the number of players. So another reason was due to the number of players able to be in the same world at the same time. Rivals is the first cross-platform next-gen game to achieve a native 1080p across both PS4 and Xbox One. Talk over both resolutions and frame rates. So resolutions and frame rates became a major point of contention contention between both Sony, so and Microsoft's new Sony and Microsoft's new consoles after it emerged that both Call of Duty Ghosts, so Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 4 2013, so both games from 2013 run at a higher resolution of PS Sony's PS4, so Sony's PS4 console as compared to Microsoft's Xbox One. Next up, gameplay, starting off with roles and progression. After completing the prologue, which is a tutorial, players choose a faction, cop or racer, to start their own tasks. Players can switch between factions at a hideout racer, or a command post cop. So command post cop. Cops can choose from the 3 car specs: patrolling, undercover, which is unmarked, and law enforcement. So law enforcement. Most of the story takes place through cutscenes, with the chosen character voicing their opinions of current events in the game. Story progression is made through completing speed lists. So speed lists as a racer, or assignments as a cop. Next up, missions. Rivals features a career progression system for both cop and racer. So cop and racer. Progressions made by means of speed lists for a racer. So speed lists for racer, and assignments for cop, which are set of objectives which involve dangerous driving. So dangerous driving, maneuvers, and race standings. Upon completion of each set of objectives, the player levels up and unlocks new content, and is presented with another set of objectives to choose from. Next up, weapon system. Similar to the 2010 Hot Pursuit, players so similar to our weapon system. Similar to the 2010 Hot Pursuit, players can use weapons referred to as pursuit tech to attack other players or AI cars, or otherwise defend themselves. Players can equip from 2 of each side's 6 available weapons, each of which can be enhanced. Although upgrades are limited to a certain level based on the max level of the car's pursuit tech. Besides ESF, electrostatic field, so electrostatic field, and EMP, So electrostatic field and EMP. So EMP, electromagnetic pulse, which are the only weapons available to both factions. Cops can deploy shock rams. So shock rams assemble roadblocks, request helicopter support, or drop spike strips. While racers can deploy radar jammers. So radar jammers trigger shock waves, deploy stun mines, or activate turbo boosts. So activate turbo boosts. Next up, online system. The Autolog system. A competition between friends. System developed by Criterion for Hot Pursuit. Records the player's completion time. So completion time for each event. So each event, speed list or assignment. These times are posted to speed walls for both local and global leaderboards to be compared to other players' times. So compared with their other times. Rivals features a new social system called the All Drive. So All Drive, which allows players to transition from playing alone, like solo, to playing with others, described as destroying the line between single and multiplayer. This allows players to engage in both cooperative and competitive gameplay. The game also features a dynamic weather system. Which makes the world feel alive in a much bigger sense than any other NFS game. Next up, car modification. Rivals also takes on some gameplay features. Gameplay features of earlier underground titles in the franchise, which cues on aesthetic car personalization. So car personalization, such as paint, so like colors, decals, rims, and license plates and liveries can be modified, as well as vehicle performance and various Pursuit Tech gadgets. With the exception for the 2012 Aston Martin Vanquish and most DLC cars. All cars in the game are only available to either the racers or the cops. It's either racers or the cops. Say racers or cops. Next up, map and background. Rivals takes place in the fictional Redview County. The open world environment features a similar setup to Most Wanted, with several jumps, speed traps, and unlockable cars, as well as shortcuts that are not shown on the map. The map's design took heavy inspiration for the landscapes of the western United States or western US, with the settings open world map consisting of over 100 miles, so 160 kilometers, 100 miles of road. The northern part of the map takes inspiration from Californian coastline towns like like Santa Monica, Santa Santa Monica, so Santa Monica, Santa Monica, California, which is a city in LA, so Los Angeles County. So Santa Monica, the eastern part consists of what's similar to the redwood forests, redwood forests, oh, redwood forests of Northern California. So Northern California and snowy mountainside based on the Rocky Mountains in also known as the Rockies. So Rockies. In Colorado, Colorado, the southern part is a rocky desert based on the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon in Arizona. So in Arizona, and both the western and central parts are based on contemporary rural rural America. There we go. Alright, next up, plot. Quite a lot there. Next up, plot. The player can choose to play as either a racer or a cop in the racer story. So racer story, the player assumes the role of a street racer known as Zephyr. In the cop story, later Zephyr has been replaced by Fate. In the cop story, the player takes on the role of an unnamed newly initiated police officer, as the player completes the objectives on either the speed lists or assignments. Story cutscenes are revealed, each of which appears to be connected with the other. In an attempt to make himself known to the public, street racer Zephyr uploads a video of him outrunning the cops along the streets of Redview County. So Redview County. Within a few days, other racers begin replicating what Zephyr did in the video. As a result, the racers have become more public in their criminal acts and increasingly more dangerous, committing more acts of damage to property, as they speed through the streets. The RCPD, Redview County Police Department, responds by increasing their punitive measures in an attempt to bring the racers to justice, resulting in public backlash. Later on, an RCPD officer, officer, so a cop named John McManus is injured while attempting to keep up with the racers. Public outcry swings back in support of the cops, leading the rookie officer to swear revenge on the racers. However, further increase in both police intimidation, intimidation and accusations of excessive force leads to all RCPD officers being placed under probationary suspension, while the FBI, so Federal Bureau of Investigation, so while the FBI sent in the VRT, Vehicle Response Team, to take the police's place. Realizing the new threat, Zephyr begins taking on the VRT as he continues to defy the authorities. Continues to defy the authorities. Angered by Zephyr's recklessness and a lack of response to his actions, the cop decides to go rogue, go evil almost, as a vigilante under the name Fate, so F8, alternatively pronounced as Fate, so Fate. It's like saying the Fate of the Furious, but taking out the and of the Furious and left with Fate. So Fate. So under the name Fate, so it's F-8. So the F8 or Fate taken an impounded 2002 to 2004 Ferrari Enzo. So Ferrari Enzo out to the streets. So out to the streets where he wreaks havoc by taking down street racers under the guise of a fellow racer. This causes the FBI to take an interest in Fate, sending him an invitation to join the VRT. Knowing this, Fate immediately gives up his vigilante persona and accepts the invitation. At the same time, all police units have been called back on active duty. So meanwhile, Zephyr eventually discovers who Fate really is and decides to retaliate, stealing a decommissioned 2012 Koenigsegg Agera R, so Agera R cop car, and respraying it in his style. So in his style, he then uses the car to attract police attention and Rex police units chasing after him. Later on, the RCPD has been cleared of all accusations against its officers, causing public outrage. So public outrage as the VRT. So VRT stays in Redview County, California. So Redview County. The subsequent increase in police activity and discontent over the violent arrests of street racers leads Zephyr to release a public message to the RCPD demanding that they stop their brutality. He then issues an open challenge to both the racers and the cops and race around Redview County so that the two sides of the law could resolve their differences once and for all. Meanwhile, Fate, now a top officer at the VRT, is tasked with locating Zephyr and taking him down, being the only one able to do so. He eventually succeeds in intercepting Zephyr's radio communications. So communications upon learning of Zephyr's message. Fate sets out to stop the infamous street racer for good. Next up, this is a really good part. Endings. There are two endings, one for each side, as with all preceding story cutscenes. These two endings appear to be connected to each other. At the end of the racer story, at the end of the racer story, right after he completes the decisive race known as the Grand Tour, Zephyr smashes into a police blockade, so police roadblock, causing him to crash violently. A subsequent news report shows Zephyr's car smoking heavily, suggesting he's been killed in the crash. However, Zephyr's revealed to have just survived the crash. While barely awake, he starts up his badly damaged car, his A.K.A. R, in an attempt to drive away. At the end of the cop story, just as he successfully takes down Zephyr, Fate loses control of his car and wrecks it in a crash, leaving him in critical condition. A following news report also reveals that Fate has already been discharged from the police force for both his dangerous and reckless actions. So in other words, he got fired from joining the police force. So actions. Sometime later, with Zephyr seemingly never heard from again, Fate, now a street racer, driving the same Enzo he stole from the police impound earlier, has emerged as the new top racer in Redview County, issuing a challenge to everyone via a video. Next up is history. So after both the commercial and critical success of 2010's Hot Pursuit, Criterion Games executives stated that they wanted to draw from the series' roots and reintroduce old NFS ideals. However, in 2011, EA Black Box released The Run, which received mixed reviews. In 2012, EA labels president Frank Gibbo said that although he was proud of the black box developed installment, he didn't want a 60 or want an 80 plus on the subject of EA Black Box. So EA Black Box, he said so. Frank said the publisher wouldn't be changing its alternating studio strategy. At Electronic Entertainment Expo 2012, Criterion Vice President um, Alex Ward, Criterion Vice President Alex Ward announced that the days of random developers churning out yearly NFS installments were over. Ward, so Alex wouldn't confirm that all NFS titles for the future would be developed wholly by Criterion, but did say that the studio would have strong involvement in them. While both EA and EA and Black Box, while both EA Canada and Black Box restructured and refocused towards online and free-to-play games in February 2012. EA had already formed a new studio in 2011, EA Gothenburg, based in Gothenburg, Sweden. It's reported that the studio would focus on development games using the Frostbite game engine. Also reported was that the studio was developing a game in the NFS franchise. According to the CVs of employees, much of the studio's staff had worked previously on major racing titles including Forza Horizon 2012, NFS The Run 2011, PGR, so Project Gotham Racing 2001, so like the one for the original Xbox, and Race Pro, so Race Pro 2009. On October 22nd, 2012, the series' main developer, Criterion Games, confirmed that EA Gothenburg was working on a title in the franchise, but didn't reveal the level of involvement or when the title would be released. So when the title would be released on November 15th. So November 15th, 2012, EA Gothenburg was rebranded as Ghost Games. Ghost's website went live around the same time and called for potential staff to apply for a range of open positions. On May 23rd, 2013, so 2013, EA confirmed their next NFS game, Rivals, with a teaser trailer following marketing material tease days before. It's also confirmed that Rivals. It's also confirmed that Rivals was in the works at EA's Swedish games developer Ghost Games in partnership with Criterion Games. Ghost is headed up by former DICE executive producer Marcus Nilsson, who previously led development on games including Battlefield 2, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat, 2005, 2006, Battlefield 2-1, Battlefield 2142, 2006, and Shift to Unleashed 2011. The team asserted that while Rivals will be released on both current and next-gen systems, the versions will ultimately be the same, aside from the graphics would look different, and next-gen would provide for more dynamic weather and gameplay. On August 30th, 2013, the head of Ghost Games, Marcus Nielsen, stated that the studio has been given complete charge of the NFS franchise, and that the franchise being bounced between multiple EA studios was not consistent with different gaming types. On September 16th, 4 days after Paul Walker's 40th birthday, so that's when he was still alive, 2013, Criterion Games had its staff members reduced to 17 people total. So less than 20 people in total, as the majority of the studio moved over to Ghost Games UK to work with NFS Games. So NFS Games, due to this, what remained of Criterion Games began work on a project of their own. Because of the low sales of Most Wanted on the Wii U and PS Vita, Rivals was not developed for those platforms. Thank God it wasn't developed on the Wii U and the PS Vita. Next up, marketing and release. So not much on there. So it's good. Rivals was released for PS3, Windows, and Xbox 360 on November 19th. November 19th, 2013 in North America. So North America, November 21st. So November 21st in Australia, and November 22nd in Europe. The PS4 version. So PS4 version was released in North America a few days earlier. On November 15th. It was 15 days before Paul died. It was 15 days before Paul Walker died. So November 15th, 2013 as a launch title. So launch title for the system. And on November 29th. So November 29th in Europe. It was a day before he was dead. So November 29th in Europe. The Xbox One version was released worldwide on November 22nd, November 22nd, 2013. On October 21st, that was 10 days before Halloween, 2014. So 2014, Rivals Complete Edition was released. So Rivals Complete Edition was released. It features all DLC, all DLC packs, as well as all pre-order bonuses previously re-released in the fully loaded garage. So fully loaded garage DLC pack, so downloadable content package, along with the main game itself. I say main game itself. And last up is reception, and then I'll end it there. So reception, as with all NFS games, we got aggregation scores. So aggregators Metacritic. So aggregator Metacritic, the scores are out of 100. PC. So the PC was 76. So PC 76%. So PC 76%. Both PS3 and PS4. So PS3 and PS4 80%. Pretty good. So pretty good. Xbox 360 76%. And Xbox One 75%. So like one less than its 360 counterpart, but still pretty good. I mean, 3/4 is pretty good. 75%, not bad. Review scores are next. Publications. We got computer and video games. So computer and video games. So computer and video games 80%. So 80%. Same as Destructoid. Edge 70%. Eurogamer 90%. Same with Game Informer. GameSpot. So GameSpot 80%. So 80%. So GameSpot 80%. GamesRadar Plus. So GamesRadar Plus 70%. Say 70%. Game Trailers 84. So Game Trailers 84. Game Zone 85. Giant Bomb. So Giant Bomb 60. So 60%. And both IGN. So IGN and official Xbox Magazine US 80%. So both 80%. Pretty good. And Polygon 85%. Rivals was well received by critics at E3 2013, and was awarded with best racing game from Game Critics Awards. So Game Critics Awards. Previewers who had access to Rivals called the game a spiritual successor to 1999's NFS High Stakes. So High Stakes, citing similar gameplay style. Others called it an improved version of Criterion's Hot Pursuit 2010, citing similar gameplay mechanics. Rivals received mostly mostly positive reviews upon release, so it's good. Aggregate review website Metacritic, as always, gave the PS4 version 80%, Xbox One 75%, PS3 80%, and Windows and 360 76%. During the 17th annual DICE Awards, the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences nominated Rivals for Racing Game of the Year. Racing Game of the Year. Steve Hanley, or Hanley, I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled Hanley, of Hardcore Gamer, gave the game 90%. Pretty good, 90%, saying it's raw, visceral, intense, and boasts a ton of replay value thanks to over 100 events, so 100 events, and seamless online multiplayer. Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb gave the game a 60%, praising the game's gameplay and soundtrack, but criticized the lack of amount of players allowed on the online multiplayer. So Gerstmann also noted that the PC version was locked at 30 FPS, and stated that is especially ridiculous, but still considered the PC version the best looking version. Game Zone's Mike Spolechta, I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled S-P-L-E-C. So Mike Spolechta, I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled S-P-L-E-C-H-T-A, gave the PS4 version an 85%, stating, for a game that touts speed in its name, Rivals delivers on every front. It's gorgeous, fast, and definitely furious. Daniel Krupa for IGN scored the game an 80% and stated fast, furious, and fun. Rivals blends Hot Pursuit and Most Wanted to great effect. Phil Collar of Polygon gave the game an 85%, writing, Rivals' technical shortcomings are frustrating, primarily because almost everything else about the game is so well designed and impressive. So everything else about the game is so well designed and impressive. It builds on the series' legacy, but also stretches into meaningful new directions. It may hit a few bumps, but if this is what Ghost Games can pull off in their first release and the first next-gen NFS, the future is bright for this franchise. Andy Reiner of Game Informer gave high praise to the online multiplayer. So online multiplayer interactivity. So interactivity, stressing that the online features create an experience unlike any other. Reiner also called the game's visuals drop dead gorgeous, and complimented the playability for making the game feel silky smooth. Reiner gave the game 90%, so 9 out of 10. Pretty good. And had minor criticisms. Nick Pino, which is spelled, or Pino, spelled Pino. It's like saying Pinto, but taking out the T. So from Games Radar, also praised both the visuals and controls, calling them absolutely gorgeous and slick, respectively. Pino was critical of the car customization and damage. So damage, but commended the game world for feeling alive. Eurogamers, Martin Robinson, out of Porter Robinson, the person who did the soundtrack of Language for Horizon 2012. I got Martin Robinson. I said Martin Robinson. Eurogamers, Martin Robinson gave the game a 90% and called it fantastic. So fantastic. He spoke well of the overall action, gameplay, the point system, the sound design of the cars, visuals, and world design. Robinson's main criticisms were concerning the obnoxious soundtrack, the inability to pause the game, world size, and car takedown systems. Negative reception censored. Negative reception censored. So reception centered around the many bugs and glitches. So bugs and glitches in the game. And frustrations around the game's lack of dedicated servers. So dedicated servers triggering frequent host migration. There are also many clashing game features which caused frustrations for players, such as cop chasing players for no reason at all, and the inability to pause the game at any time. Ghost games also removed the ability to change from automatic to manual. And that is it. So if you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you all think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you'll learn when I make new uploads. Alright, so that'll be it. I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.